Nish pointed out that the description of our video did not match what the video was about.
Yeah.
And this is going to be my new little game. I'm going to have a lot of fun with it. So if you're watching this video, go into the description because it's not going to match and you might get a kick out of it. We're just going to have fun. But
Mystery boxes.
exactly. Today, we wanted to talk about a topic that both of us are really passionate about, and that is investment properties. I'm going to ask Nish, because it's his niche, to talk about, what would be the top two things he recommends for somebody getting into this from his perspective. From my perspective, the top two things I tell everybody, a new investor, is learn the 1% rule and learn the rule of fives. So 1% rule, super simple. Your income on a property should equal 1% of the purchase price. If it's $300,000 property, then your income on the property should equal 1%. And that's something that banks will actually give you your loan based on for an investment property. It's important for investors to practice it because as they go in, what they're going to do is they'll look at a property. Let's say it's 300,000.
Yep.
In their mind, 1%, $3,000. Then they get on realtor.com and they look at what are rental prices in the area. Well, if the rental price is $2,000, you're not meeting that 1%.
You're not, exactly.
Yeah. So you can kind of look at it and instantly knock out properties or realize you have to offer them lower than what they're asking. And then another one that I love is the rule of fives. It's just basically when you look at a property and you see something that you want to change or repair, calculate $5,000. So you go in and you look and you're like, oh, I want to replace the carpet. Yeah, carpet may cost you $2,000 for depending on the size of the property.
Yeah.
Calculate 5,000 because inevitably you replace the carpet and then you're like, oh, but I don't like the footboards anymore. So I want to replace the footboards. Oh, this paint didn't really go with the carpet like I thought it did. So I want to paint. And before you know it, you planned on $2,000, but you spent $5,000.
Yes.
So, those are my top two that I think everybody kind of needs to know if they're looking at investments. What would be your top two?
Those top two are really good for me too. For as a property manager, that would be my advice to somebody as well. Because first of all, you don't want to purchase a property. Again, this is not my top two, but I'm mentioning off yours. If you want to purchase a property where you're begging the tenant to get the rent to cover the mortgage or cover the rent payment, you want to make sure that you are able to be able to cover that rent payment. Say if you can't find a tenant for 30 days or if you have to evict a tenant. So that's very good on that. And then making sure that you have money set aside for maintenance, like you said, when it comes to certain things in the property. So those tie in right there. One of my main ones I would say is that you make sure if you're going to be self-managing the property is that you understand what your responsibilities are. Knowing what the rules are for the county, for the state, fair housing, all of that good stuff. You have to understand that so you don't violate and you're dealing with a lawsuit. Second, it might be biased here, but hire a property manager. Hire a property manager because if you think about it, those dues that you pay for the property manager, the percentages that you pay monthly and all the fees that you pay, those are tax deductible or you may claim those on your taxes when you file this as an investment property. So you put what your expenses were and property management fees can be deducted from that. So I would say those are my top two. Of course, understand if you're going to be self-managing, understand who you can put in, what you could tell the tenants, how you can market the property. And then secondly, it sort of ties in as well as consider hiring a property manager.
Yeah, you know what's interesting is I have quite a few listings that are investment properties right now, and people will reach out to me. Some of these properties have on-site management, others you could self-manage. And what I find interesting is a lot of people want to know about self-management. And I'm just curious, since you brought it up, and I think this is kind of, why not?
Yeah.
Let's take advantage. What would be the number one biggest pitfall you would see of somebody managing a property on their own?
Number one is close. They're both close to each other. So I'm going to throw it out at the same time. It's going to be fair housing and maintenance laws.
Mhm.
You don't, when it comes to fair housing and, with the rules the way it's set today, you don't want to get into a mix up when it comes to that, saying who can live at the property, who can't live at the property, or, some little bit of outreach, but like assistance animals, denying assistance animals, you can't do that. You get big trouble for that. And then the maintenance, knowing and understanding that you have to address certain things. It may not seem important to you, but there's a law behind that maintenance and you have to address it. And if it's an emergency or if it's not considered an emergency in the state of Florida.
You brought up something that, again, I just kind of want to pick your brain a little bit about, because I actually had a situation where another realtor reached out to me and was asking me some questions. Now, I'm just curious from a property management standpoint, because I have worked with different individuals in the veteran community, individuals with various disabilities. And one of the things that they were talking about was a homeowners association asking them in regards to their what service animal.
Oh, that's a very fine line. Here's the thing, right? You mentioned right off the get-go, it was an HOA management company, correct? They were the ones asking. HOA bylaws, they could say what they want to say and do what they want to do. They could make a community age restricted. They could do certain things. So unfortunately, HOAs, it could take on a different role. They set their own rules, basically.
Awesome. Well, we'll dig into that in some more episodes. So, Nish, thank you for your time. If you guys like this video, please like, subscribe, share, comment below. All of these things go a long way towards supporting us and producing great content. And we hope you have a great week.
Awesome. Have a good one, guys.